Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness here, and we are talking today about working your abs in a whole new way. So people think about ab work, they think about doing the crunches and pulling on their neck and all those things that the infomercials show you that, make it look so terrible and everything, and really, they aren't that bad to do those things. But doing a regular crunch, if you're doing it incorrectly, yeah, it could hurt your neck and it might not give you the benefit in your core, but if you're doing it correctly, it may not be hard enough. And that may sound silly if you haven't been doing a lot of exercise lately, but the truth is that the core needs to be worked at a certain level in order to improve, because we use it for everything that we do. Now, real quick before we get into this exercise, I want to kind of go over there. A lot of people don't realize that there's a difference between your core and your abdominal muscles. They think that working the core means working your abdominal muscles. Well, sometimes it does, but sometimes the core actually involves more. So technically, by definition, the core is your torso when you take off your arms and your legs. So you take off your arms and your legs, what's left? Everything from the pelvis up through the head, right? So you've got your chest, you've got your back, you've got your hips. Everything is part of that minus the arms and legs. So that's technically your core, because all of that helps to stabilize your movements and helps your body to do what it needs to do. However, your abdominal muscles are completely different. So a lot of times you'll see reports going around, maybe Facebook and things like that, that talk about that, doing crunches don't actually activate your core the same way as, say, squats and deadlifts do. But the truth is that the squats and deadlifts, while they activate certain core muscles, they're the posterior core muscles. Through the lower back is typically where you're getting that activation from, not as much from the front. Now, your transverse abdominis is typically part of that. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like a sling that comes across. Your transverse abdominis is one of those muscles that it's always working in the background. No matter what you're doing, it's always engaging at some level. The more we engage it, the better, but it's engaging at some level, and so it's always working. But sometimes when we're talking about the core muscles, if you're speaking about core muscles, I'm guessing that you're talking about the abdominal muscles through the front, right? People say, man, I need a stronger core, I need my stomach to be flatter, I need to be stronger through there. That's what they're talking about, the targeted area of the abdominal muscles, which is a targeted specific area of the core, because again, the core goes all the way up through the head, all the way down to the pelvis. So we want to make sure that we know what we're talking about first before we just go jumping into telling somebody, hey, I want to go work my core. Because you tell the wrong person that, they might not think the same thing that you do. So we want to make sure that you know kind of the differences between those two. Now, typical core exercises, you've got your crunches, goodness knows you've got your planks. A lot of people love those planks. You've got multi-joint exercises where maybe you've got your renegade rows or your plank rows where you're holding in a plank and you're rowing up and doing things like that. You've got your resistance band exercises where maybe you're chopping down and you're working the core that way. The best way to work your core in full, to work your abdominal muscles as well as more of the torso, is to involve your shoulders and your hips in your abdominal exercises. By doing that, you're actually going to get more work through that tummy area where most of us think of as our core. So when we're doing things like that, you think, well, what on earth would I do like that? Well, there's things like your inchworms, where you stand up tall, you reach down to the floor, walk your hands out to a plank, walk right back in, right? And the goal there would be to stabilize, to keep the body from rocking side to side. So I'm just going to show you that real quick on what that would look like. So if we started here, we reach down, we walk out to our plank, stabilize, and pull it back. One of the best ways to think about that stabilization point is if you were holding for a picture. So you take it out to that point where you're going to be at, you hold it for your pretty picture, and then you walk it right back in. So here's my exercise for you today. Today we've got one that's a little challenging, so maybe you need to modify. That inchworm is the perfect place to start. Maybe you need to take it into this position and learn to hold it first. You can do that too. So there's a lot of ways to build up to this. If you're not quite at this level yet, please modify with something that's more comfortable for your body right now, or get some help in learning how to strengthen the body to be able to do this. But I wanted to show this because we've had several people asking for things that are a little more challenging in a little different way. So we're going to take this onto a stability ball here. It could be any size of ball. That's up to you, but you do want to make sure that it's inflated. Ours has been sitting against a cold window, so it's a little bit more deflated today. But we're going to take it down. You can get there however you want to. We're going to come out into our plank, feet on top of the ball. Of course, goal number one is to balance. So if you haven't got your balance here, this would be your position. This would be your exercise just to hold this plank. Now, step number two would be a pike up, where we keep our knees straight and we lift through the hips. Notice the hips do not pass the wrists. If they do, we turn it into a shoulder exercise rather than an abdominal exercise. So we're going to pull it up, hips come up, knees stay straight, and right back down. So that would be step two as you're progressing and you're getting stronger. Step three would be our final phase here. We would actually go into a rollback.
So we would press back, and then we would pull forward through those lats right underneath your armpits. We'd go into that pike up, come right back down, extend back, and roll back in, coming back up. Now what you'll notice is the further out that your feet are off of the top of the ball, if your feet are way out here and your shins and knees are on the ball, it's going to be a little bit easier to do than if you've got just the tops of your feet here. So again, stages that you can kind of intensify or modify from. So you want to take it at your level, start somewhere, and build up from there. If you'd like more help with things like this, or just working on those abdominal muscles in general, we would love to help you out. Feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. We have got Downsize coming up on January 15th. We would love for you to be a part of it, but there's only room for 20. So if you want to be a part of that, we're already getting people enrolled in it. We are getting spots filled up pretty quick, so if you think that might be on your list, on your list for 2018, then we need to hear from you pretty quick. So feel free to comment below, I'm in. Remember, if you lose 15 inches, you get your money back. Want more details? Just ask me for them and I'll get them to you. Hope you have a great day.